But he sounds, when he sings on his own, he sounds like a bit like Rick Astley as well.
Right.
So P. Diddy, Usher and Rick Astley.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, it's a good mix.
And guys, presume you think you can win. What happens when you win? What's the next stage?
Well, we want to be worldwide selling artists.
Okay, off you go.
Okay.
Whoa, 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 mysterious girl, move your body close to mine.
Come on, move your body. Come on, move your body.
I stop and stare at you, walking on the shore. I try to concentrate, my mind wants to explore. The tropical scent of you takes me up above. And girl, when I look at you, oh, I fall in love. No doubt you look so fine.
Whoa.
Girl, I wanna make you mine.
Yeah, come on.
Just let me be with the woman that I love.
A woman that I love.
No doubt you're the only man
Whoa.
who can love you like I can.
Yeah, man.
Just let me be with the woman that I love.
Where do I start? I mean, it's more like Anton Deaf. It's just...
Come on, Simon.
Oh, guys, come on.
Come on, we know we're good enough, Simon. No disrespect, but we feel we're pretty good.
Look, Anton, Seb, I mean, it was just crazy bad.
With this chance, we will prove to you. We're different.
We can get better.
We're different.
You are different.
We've never had anything like this on the show before.
Absolutely, we've heard nothing like this.
All right, Louis, yes or no?
No.
Cheryl?
Yeah, no, I don't think you're right for this.
Please, give us a chance.
Guys?
Come on.
Guys, it's a no.
Sing it through mine. Sing it.
You're the reason I go on in life, yeah. Better to have lost in love.
Okay. You can't sing well enough.
Through mine. Sing it through mine.
Oh, for God's sake, it's a
I'm
no.
sorry, Simon, but he's a good singer.
No!
Can't take no for answer.
Guys, you've got to
Enrique
leave.
Hero or If You Mind. Just choose which song would you
You've
rock?
got to leave.
I guess it's over. Can't believe that I'm a fool again. I thought this love.
Welcome back, guys. This is episode 3 in our new series. I'm yet to find a name for it. Maybe when we get back to school, these start coming out, I'll get some inspiration from some of you fans out there for what this series could be called. But today we are starting my learning journey. So this would be a part of my portfolio, this one, because this is an interview that I'm doing. So last one, we learned about what my goal is, which is going to be to run a marathon. That is my learning goal, to learn about how to run a marathon, okay? Something that I have very little experience in, okay? The longest I have ran continuously is around 14, 15 Ks, which, if you know your math, is very far off 42.2 kilometers. So it's going to be an interesting journey. But I'm just sitting here, I'm hanging out in the holidays, I'm enjoying myself, but I'm getting into my running. And I interviewed the man that I know to run a marathon better than anyone, okay? This man, they call him the master of the marathons. All time on Strava, okay? He has ran over 7,500 kilometers. He has ran a sub 3-hour marathon. That is ridiculous. He has completed a 115 kilometer race where he ran for 13 and a half hours straight, which, saying that aloud, is just insane. He eats 5-kilometer runs for breakfast, and that man is none other than Mr. Henry Johnson. We know him from last year. We miss him dearly. So we just want to thank Mr. Johnson firstly for his time. That's going to be my shout out in today's episode. Okay, we're going to get the shout out of the way because this is a longer one. Obviously with me, interviewing him, getting some information, and doing as much learning as I can in that time. So thank you, Mr. Johnson. I've learned so much from you already. I'm sure I'm going to be bugging you about it as well, and trying to learn more and more from you. So a little bit about what we're going to do. So I'm going to be interviewing him. You guys are going to be watching that interview if you want. And throughout that, you'll see that there's little notes that pop up on the screen. For example, like my learning notes, maybe something that he said that triggered me to, make a note for planning, but then also maybe something that I need to follow up a question with. So they pop up on the screen, and also some ongoing reflections. So looking back, especially when I'm editing the video, as I'm watching, I'm thinking, hey, that was something that I didn't consider beforehand. I actually didn't know that. And maybe some things to pop up. I got him to look at my initial training program. And that's going to be up on the screen. And then what I'll do, I'll post my new training plan, okay, after making the adjustments from chatting with Mr. Johnson about that. I'll post that on both Daymart, but then I'll also put a link probably down below in our little details bit. Yes, I'm becoming a YouTube guru, about where you can see that training plan. But let's get into it. Let's have some fun. And this is my interview with none other than the master of marathons, Mr. Henry Johnson.
Dylan! You son of a...
Firstly, thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it. Are you happy for me to... What I reckon we might do first is, if we're looking at the training program that I put together.
Yep.
Do you have just some feedback on that? How it looks?
Yeah, not too much. But you've got like run to as optional.
Yeah.
So just yeah, if you want to, yeah, you'd be having to at least run 3 times a week.
Okay then.
yeah, like obviously at the start you just have to get used to it, but towards like your week, I guess, or probably 12 to 15, you want to be doing at least 3 runs at least at the minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah. Just because you'll probably blow pretty quickly in a marathon if you don't.
All right then. Easy. Don't want that to happen.
Because you won't be blind at all. Nah.
Yeah. With that, I guess, what's the longest that you would recommend running before going into a marathon?
Yeah, so it's obviously everything's so, I guess, dependent on so many factors, but personally, I do about 32 or 34K, which at marathon pace though.
Yep.
But what the science says is if you're running, because obviously your marathon pace will be different to mine will be different to whoever's, like it's all dependent, like it's all changed. So your somebody's marathon pace, it might take them 3.5 hours to run 34Ks, for example. So if a person is in that situation, I wouldn't say do 34Ks, because if you're running for longer than 3 hours, you're actually not getting any benefits. You're actually starting to actually cause more issues than what it's worth. So for example, if your marathon pace is 10Ks every hour, your longest run should be 30Ks.
Okay then.
Yep.
All right. So for me, I don't really have like a pace in mind. I just think I want to get it done. Like I want to finish it. Looking at what I can comfortably run now, and I ran, I think it was 8Ks on the weekend, and I felt like I could continue running, like mentally and physically. Obviously, that's very far off a marathon, but I ran that at like between like 6:45 and a 7-minute pace. Would you say then, like, that's probably looking to finish in a marathon around between 4 and 5 hours? So do you think my longest run should be close to 4 hours?
No, still your longest run should just be given what you just said. Your longest run, who cares about the time? Who cares about the distance? Just run for 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that should maybe be a bit more of a focus on like the training program is like running time over running distance?
Yeah, I actually wrote that a little bit in those, I said I wrote down some answers or whatever. I think I wrote that down. Some stuff should be more time dependent, because like I told you this before, like your body, like it doesn't know how many Ks you've run, it just knows how long it's been running for.
Yeah.
So that's what you want to get your body used to.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I guess definitely, like since you're obviously starting out, 100%. Yeah.
All right. Easy. The next thing I kind of want to know is like when you're running in preparation for a marathon and like you're increasing the amount of time that you're on your feet and everything, how do you balance, I guess, avoiding injuries, your nutrition? I want to get into the nutrition more side a little bit later, but how do you like more so balance with like avoiding injuries?
Well, it's hard, like it really is. I've done a few different type of strategies, used different strategies. One strategy that I used is just because I forget her name. It wasn't Courtney DeWalter, but it was another really, really, really well-respected female ultra runner. And she, instead of doing like a 40K training run, which for them is nothing, she would break that up into like 2 blocks. So she'd do a 20K in the morning, 20K in the afternoon.
Okay.
So you lessen the chance of injury, but you also run fatigued as well, which is, I guess, what you want as well.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, you do a double up. So it just means you run in the morning, then run at night. And I found that's a good way to help prevent injuries, but you're going to get injured.
Yeah.
As in like, not you like specifically, but yeah, it's just because it's such a big stress on your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess like across the marathons that you prepared for, some of like the really long distance runs that you've done, what's like the biggest challenge that you've faced in that preparation, like leading up to it?
In the preparation, literally just the time. In, it just takes a lot of time. It's kind of different because like with footy training, as you know, like you're training twice a week and taking all day, like we're not taking all day, but you take up 4 to 6 hours every Saturday as well. And you think, oh yeah, that's a fair bit of time. But I found that running was it didn't take up more time necessarily, but it just took up more of a mental load, because you have to be like, all right, I need to run tonight. And then you have to mentally prepare yourself and go for your run. Then you come home, have a shower, make sure you eat well afterwards. So that's probably the hardest thing, just the amount of time it takes.
Yeah.
Because like when I'm doing like a proper training block, I'm not like, cause I don't run that volume wise, I don't run as much as I would like to, but it's still 5 hours of running throughout the week.
Yeah.
And that can increase a little bit as well towards the end. But so it doesn't sound like very much, but there's lots that goes into it, so to speak. Yeah. Okay. That was probably most of the struggle, is just the time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then. I guess, did you do a marathon like whilst you were playing footy, and how, like, if you did, what were you training for? How did you kind of manage that? That's something I'm tossing up with, is like, can I manage playing footy alongside of this?
Yeah. So I trained for a half marathon when I was playing footy, and then I trained for Eurobilla, so like the 56K, through the like Mount Lofty, Morialta, all that, and while I was playing footy. And so what I did is like I took like footy training as like an opportunity to increase my speed work.
Okay then.
So you've got obviously different types of runs, which I'm not, like we've had a chat about, like, yeah. And so instead of doing speed work like on my own, I just did it through training. So, you know, when your coach says run to the, you know, make sure you run to the end of the cone, all that crap.
Yeah.
I actually did, but like try to actually sprint.
Yeah.
So I was two birds, one stone. But the only thing I was worried about is getting injured on the weekend. But it's all right, I just sat in the goal square, so I was okay.
Yeah. I'll just run out of the centre square and I'll be fine.
Exactly, mate. Yeah.
I get like that kind of, that's something that I guess I miss in the questions I sent through, is like looking at the different types of training. So, you know, I've got the long run as like my slow one. Then should I be, with the other two, should I be looking to go, you know, all out, like run my best time in that one? Should I be looking to do like 1 kilometer at like a certain pace and pull back?
So I think from the get-go, just run all your runs easy.
Yep.
Just literally, because the first probably 4 weeks of your training is where you're more likely to get an injury.
Okay.
Just from get there, just because obviously you haven't done this before. So I wouldn't worry about different types of run after 4 weeks, but probably after 4 weeks. And if you're feeling obviously really good, what I'll be doing for one of your runs, and this is like my favorite type of like training run, is at the end of every like on every K, you just run for it. You just do 100-meter strides. So strides aren't necessarily sprinting, because that's just, it won't work. But they're just like, you just pick up the pace for just 100 meters, and then what your aim is for the next 900 meters is to obviously drop back in pace, but also make sure that your breathing is under control, your heart rate stabilizes. That's like your focus. Yeah. Because you can run as fast as you want, but if your breathing isn't in rhythm or in sync, you're all out of rhythm, and it's not worth it. So you have to use that time to really, this sounds so wishy-washy, definitely given, I guess, my background as a science teacher, but like, you have to really get in a rhythm.
Yeah.
And feel like your body is all in tune, so to speak. So that's why I like doing those stride throughs, because first of all, your body gets used to running quicker, and it's not for a long time, so your risk of injury is real minimal. And second of all, after you finish your stride through, like I said, you just understand your breathing technique and patterns a lot more, and you're able to lower your heart rate, control your breathing, which is going to be so beneficial when it comes to your last probably 15 Ks of your marathon.
Okay then.
Yeah.
All right. That just kind of flipped something in my head. Did you ever run the course or anything in the lead up so that you could mentally say, well, I've done this before?
Ooh, that's a good question. Not all of it, but some of it.
Okay.
And that was just more so it wasn't kind of necessarily on purpose. It was just when I did Eurobilla, that was all like through like Mount Osmond, like I was saying, Mount Osmond, like Morialta, all that stuff. Yeah. And at the time I was living in Burnside, so my training runs were all around there anyway.
Okay then.
Yeah, and when I did like the Adelaide half marathon, I was living right in the city, so I'd be running along there anyway. And so yeah, but I think my long runs that I've done, like from like the hills down to Victor, like that's like an adventure almost. So you don't really want to. Like, a part of the allure is that it's brand new territory.
Yeah.
You don't want to kind of like, it's like finding out what you got for Christmas before Christmas.
Yeah.
You just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But given that yours is just a road race, well, not just a road race, but it's just, you know, it's not necessarily pretty and everything. I would actually probably recommend doing a little bit of it, just so in your own guts, like you feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also too, like, I'm not talking a bit more, but when I did the pace of the Barossa Marathon this year, because my sister-in-law was doing it, we were actually up at the Barossa for a weekend away, like all our family, and she was there. And so we ran, because it's a half marathon loop you do twice. Yeah. So we just did one loop together. Okay. And through the loop, I was explaining to her, you know, remember feeling like on this part of the stretch, you can feel the wind coming, like it's a real big, strong headwind. So I said to her, like, look, make sure when you actually are doing the marathon that you don't push yourself through this section, because if you're pushing yourself, you're not going to get, like, the risk reward payoff is so small. Okay, so just go real slow through this part. Then afterwards, we know that you're going to get a tailwind, and then you can then you go a bit quicker there. So we thought a bit of strategy. So it helped her a lot, she said. But yeah, for myself, it's not a real big issue.
Yeah. Because I think that's what the Adelaide Marathon is it's 2 loops of a half marathon.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something, because I've got in my training plan, like I think when I do like the 22 kilometer one, maybe I'd do that.
Definitely. Like that. Yeah, that's actually, probably would, because it's not massive elevation at all. But I remember when I did the half marathon there was some sections that were kind of took me by surprise with, you know, the sudden gradient change of the road. So I guess if you kind of knew that beforehand, you just mentally prepare yourself a lot better. Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful. All right. I think we'll move on to nutrition. This is something I have no clue about. I think it's probably the thing that's making me most nervous about it, but I guess, like, when you're in your training program, what point do you recommend I start using different types of fuel? So whether that be like drinking water, taking gels on runs.
Yep. Again, like, all these answers are like so dependent on a lot of factors, like how hot is it outside, how well you've eaten that day, how well you've hydrated that day, all that stuff. So obviously take it with a pinch of salt, but there's a bit of a guideline, I guess. So if I'm going on any run that's longer than an hour, any like shorter than an hour, and you know that day I've eaten pretty well, like not necessarily like healthy wise, but just I've had enough calories for the day. I've been pretty hydrated. I wouldn't bother taking any. I don't take anything.
Yep. Okay. No.
Anything over an hour, I've got like a little little water bottle that just slips over my hand, and that's a 500 ml, and I take that with me. And I don't probably drink enough when I go for my long runs. I think I do at the time, but I probably don't, according to the research. According to the research, they recommend at least around about 700 ml of water every hour.
Okay. Wow.
When I probably do more around the 500.
Yeah.
But again, that's very dependent on the weather conditions.
Yeah.
Then if I'm again going on for a run longer than an hour, I would just take, because in my little water bottle holder, it's got like a little zip bag, so I can take some put gels in there.
Yeah.
And I normally have a gel every 45 minutes.
Okay.
But again, some people do it every 35. It is something that you just have to practice, and that's probably like oh, I was going to swear, but I can't. That's probably like the crappiest thing. Because
I can just beep it out, really.
Oh yeah, well that's a thing, like quite literally as well, because you have to go through phases where your tummy is going to go like is going to hate whatever you've eaten that day or that gel, and you need to probably run to a toilet, and like just like and just explode everywhere. But that's part of the training though, because your gut gets used to it. So now I can literally like have a go out to the pub, have a beer, have a schnitzel, and then within 20 minutes I can go for a long run, and that's not like
now.
No, like that's the thing. Like it's not. It sounds pretty cool to do, but that's taken like years and years and years and years of training your gut. Yeah. I did see a question about like solid foods. Maybe I think you talk about solid foods or not, just gels.
I guess like kind of what does like I figured out a question around like what does your pre-run meal look like if you know you're going on a longer run?
Yeah. So at longer run, I'll just have normally do my longer runs in the morning. So I'll just be brekkie. So what I'll do is I'll just have probably 7 or 8 Weet-Bix with honey. Or crumpets with honey, peanut butter, and banana cut up on top. For whatever reason, lately, given I've got like a younger kid, I might not have that much time to get ready to go for my run. So I'll just like quickly down some like a banana or a fruit or some other type of fruit, sorry, and then I might bring a muesli bar or a banana with me and eat it on the run. Yeah.
Did you find it challenging to like kind of eat as you go or like ingest gels? Like, is that really tricky to do? Like, and then work back into like your breathing and your running and focusing on that?
Yeah, so gel's not too bad because I'm not sure if you've had gels before, but you've probably obviously seen or whatever. Like, it's like one quick mouthful and some water and it's all done. So it doesn't take that long to like recover from it. But from eating like solid food, it took a while to get used to, like as in like get the breathing back again. But now, like I do several, like I don't know how many runs I've gone on this year that I've eaten on the run. Like it's become a bit of second nature now. But given, I guess, I'm just thinking obviously about your marathon. You could, it's hard to, I don't want to give you the wrong advice, but I think that you'd be okay with probably not having anything solid during your actual marathon, because the longest run you're going to do beforehand is only 3 hours, not only 3 hours, but 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I think you'll probably be okay with your marathon. However, when you do your 3 hour run, you'll know, if you need to do solid food or not.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. You kind of spoke about like roughly what I should be having with like water. Do you use anything else? Like, do you use like Gatorade or Powerade in runs, or do you just go water while you're running?
Yeah, so I normally just go water.
Yeah. But
when it's hot, I've only done this a couple of times because like the powder thing that you can use is quite expensive, and I'm a tight ass. But it's called Tailwind. You may have heard of it before. It's just basically it's kind of like it's like a powdered Gatorade, and you put it in your water. But it's a lot better than that though. It's like it's more tuned to replace most of your electrolytes, because obviously Gatorade and Powerade, they're mainly just sugar, which is nothing wrong with that when you're running by no means. But this specific powder has just got a lot more electrolytes and amino acids to help you, and that does help a lot. It's so much better than water. But again, they're so expensive. Yeah.
Are there any supplements or foods in particular that you look to use after you've gone for a run to like make sure like you're not feeling like crap the next day, or you're feeling just like support your recovery?
Yeah, so normally after, again, since it's getting hotter now, I'm kind of thinking more summer runs now, not winter, since we're just coming out of the winter. But normally after a longer run in the summer, I'll normally have, what are they called? They're like the Hydrolyte little tablet things.
Yeah.
It's not Hydrolyte, but it's very similar. I normally chuck a couple of them into a water bottle straight afterwards and down that. And also, this is like, I actually highly recommend this next one. Non-alcoholic beer. I chuck a couple in the freezer before I leave. When I come back, if I don't have my little Hydrolyte in my water, I normally just crack open a few non-alcoholic beers, like real cold. Yeah. Because actually, like beer, like without alcohol, is like actually such a really, really good recovery drink.
Okay.
Yeah, but alcoholic beer is not though, because the alcohol just supersedes all the good stuff of the actual beer itself, and the alcohol obviously causes you to become dehydrated. It causes blah 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 blah. But the actual like probiotics within alcohol or within the beer itself is actually quite good for you.
Okay. All right. I've said that well.
yeah,
I'll let you know
like-
how it goes.
yeah. It sounds like I'm making it up, but I'm not.
now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. I guess the last thing, not the last kind of focus point that I want to look at is like equipment. We've spoken a little bit about it informally, but like, how do you choose the right shoes for preparing for a marathon? I guess as well, like managing training as well.
Yeah. So, I just recommend, obviously, like we spoke about, like if you go to, actually, I don't reckon told you this, but if you go to like Sportitude, or I think it's now called Run DNA, they've got a place in Hindmarsh near EDC, or near Cooper Stadium, or not Cooper Stadium, near this where Adelaide United play. It's right there.
I think it used to be called Coopers. So
there you go. And also I think there's one down Unley Road or King William Road. But they have like, you're trying to shoot and they've got like a proper treadmill. They really look at your gait. So I'd recommend that. Like you have to try on a pair of shoes first before buying them. If you're going to like probably do like hundreds of Ks in them, for sure, definitely. Yeah. Athlete's foot is pretty good too. I used to work athlete's foot, so I was lucky enough I didn't have to go through a big rigmarole of trying to find shoes. Because I did it at work.
Hi there. Is there a project you're working on? I know more than you. All right.
But yeah, you definitely need to try them on and actually go for a run on a treadmill straight away.
Okay then.
Yeah.
All right. When you're training, and like we kind of spoke about it a little, and I did some reading online about it. Do you rotate your shoes around? And like, if you do, why do you do that?
Yeah, so as we spoke about, I rotate. When I do like easier runs, I rotate between two pairs of shoes just so they've got time to decompress before your next run. Because if you're obviously running on, if you keep running on the same shoes and they always stay decompressed, then the life of that shoe is going to be quite minimal. But if you rotate, everybody's a little bit different because everybody, might hold, people are heavier than other people have different gaits than other people. But personally, I do about 800 Ks in a shoe before getting a new pair, like a new pair to run in. And before that, I probably found that after 600 Ks, they're kind of getting a bit crap. So, like for me personally, I know the evidence suggests it as well, but personally, I've found that it works quite well. Because even though you're chucking out more money at the start, but it's being paying less overall.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So other than shoes, what do you think is some pretty important gear to have?
Yeah, so like I said, like I've got like a little water bottle. It's like I forget the actual name of it, but it's like it's just like a real thick plastic. And so you can like bend it around and everything, and it fits into like a little sack. And that little sack you put around your hand. So that's easy. So you don't actually have to hold it necessarily. It just kind of fits over your hand, and that's really good to run with. Also, you probably would have seen on Instagram now, like the Nerd Belt. I'm not sure if you've seen that. No. It's just a belt. When I say belt, it's not like a literal like belt that you tie up. It's just like a bit of material that you just put up around your waist, and it's got little pockets to put stuff in. Okay. I've had one. I did a trail run, like a proper trail, like an organised trail run in Austria 6 years ago, and I didn't have anything to put like my phone in because I needed my phone because of just where we were. So I bought. I've never been able to find the brand anywhere online ever since, but it's kind of like this Nerd Belt that I was telling you about, but instead of having pockets, it doesn't have any pockets. You just fold the material over your phone and it somehow just sits around your waist holding your phone. Okay. It's really, really good. So I've had that for 6 years and I've washed it all the time and it's going strong. But yes, they're the two things I would recommend: a belt to put your stuff in, and also something to hold, like, and a water bottle to run with. Okay. Yeah.
So have you ever like used anything like the running vests or like that? Like, do you think for what I'm looking to do that's necessary?
Yeah. So. I do have a running vest. I bought a cheap one from eBay about 6 years ago, and I've used it on all my 100K plus runs, all my long trail running training runs, and it's so good. But I probably do need a new one. It depends. If you're running somewhere, like if you're running around, Linear Park, there's no need to have a hydration vest because you can hold your little water bottle and then you can fill it up as you go along. But if you've got running somewhere for an extended period of time and you cannot fill up your water bottle, I would recommend getting one.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Because like I'd rather run without one, just because it's not heavy or anything, and doesn't rub against your back or anything like that. But it is just an annoyance that after running for a couple of hours, if it does rub even slightly, it's going to piss you off so much. So I'd recommend not running with one if you're able to.
Yeah. Okay then.
Yeah.
And then last one with equipment, unless you think there's anything else that I've missed, but what are you fussy with, like your clothing choices? In like when you're running, I guess in training and then in the race as well, or do you kind of just go like a run-of-the-mill sports running shirt from like Rebel Sport or something?
Yeah, so the shirt I don't really care about too much. I could like sometimes when I might be doing some, on the weekend I might be doing some yard work at home, so I've just got like a normal t-shirt on, like not a running shirt. And then since that's all sweaty, I'll just go for a run with that on. But I'm not too picky. But socks, as you know, toe socks, like proper toe socks. Injiji, I think the brand name is. It's like a Japanese word. there's like, well, yeah, I've got so many people onto them, and they've all had good things to say about them. And also my shorts. Like I normally either wear New Balance or Lululemon.
Okay then.
And also going back to equipment, Vaseline. You need Vaseline, mate.
That's fine. All right.
And you need to literally like just put a crap load in your hand and just shut your eyes and rub it everywhere below your waist.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to chafe anywhere because you have a shower and you think, holy crap, that hurts, that stings.
Yeah. All right then. Duly noted. Maybe I can get a sponsorship from Vaseline.
Idiot.
Do you, when you're training and everything, like, do you work with any like other? Do you work with a trainer? Do you work with physios or any other like professionals to help you out with that? Or
When I did, I think it was when I did either my first trail, like the Eurobilla, or I think it was for Eurobilla, like the first trail, like the ultra marathon. I worked with a physio, just because I had a lot of issues and I knew I couldn't do it without him.
Yeah.
But that's the last time I've seen a physio in relation to anything, and that was quite a few years ago now. My wife is a physio, however, but so when I am doing serious training, she will needle me quite often. And that helps so much with recovery. Like at the time, I didn't realize how much it helped until the next time I did a marathon and I did a training block and I didn't get her to do anything because she was pregnant and just I didn't want to obviously inconvenience her. And it helps so much.
Okay then.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. I've taken up a bit of your time, so I'll give you. I've got two last questions for you. What's one lesson you wish every new marathon runner knew before their first race?
I don't think it's necessarily like every runner, but nowadays with like social media and everything, obviously I don't know about your algorithm, but like so many people seem to be popping out marathons and everything, and I feel like people aren't necessarily respecting the distance.
Yeah.
Like to run a marathon, you need to train so consistently, like physically and mentally, and it's such like it's such a big deal. And I feel like given the presence of so many people just running a marathon all of a sudden, it makes people think it's a bit easier than what it is.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, not easier necessarily, but it's not as bad as what it is. And so you need to go in the mindset that it is going to be bad and it's going to be shit. But if you train properly, you'll be prepared for it.
Yeah. All right. I think that's the one thing. I've said it now, and obviously I've kind of committed to it, bought my ticket and everything, so I've got to do it. But I think I'm genuinely crapping myself at the prospect of it.
That's good.
It's daunting, especially looking back. I remember 5 years ago I couldn't run for 5 minutes in a row. And so for me it's going to be hard. But I'm looking forward to it. There's I've went back on my Strava and looked at when my first runs were that I recorded, and it was 4 minutes on, 4 minutes off, because that's all I could run. So I think it'll be cool to be able to do it in the end. But yeah, I think I'm nervous about how big of a jump it's going to be from what I'm doing at the moment. So
just I think you've already come a fair way by the sounds of it. But you've given yourself 5 months, and if you're consistent with it, and if you do pick up a niggle, you go and see somebody about it and take their advice. I don't think there's a reason why you can't finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last question, what's the best advice you've received from another experienced runner?
Make sure you've always got toilet paper near you.
All right. All right. That's a great note. Something again I'm fearing as well. So that is duly noted. All right. That's all I've got for you. Thank you. I appreciate the time.
No, easy, Mr. Hollins. That's fine.
All right. You take care. And so probably one of the last times I'll see you wearing a Birdwood High School shirt, sadly. So
that's true. All right. I'll see you in the staff room for Millie's birthday. Okay.
Yeah, we've got to go over there. All right. See you, mate.
See you, mate.
And that is all for today's episode, guys. Today's sponsor, because I'm going to ask, who was my sponsor? None other than Chobani. How good is that? Look at that. This is my favorite flavor of yogurt. They send them out to me. I love them. Thank you so much for your support, Chobani. High protein, keeping my muscles nice and strong. All right. So thank you to Chobani Yogurts for sponsoring today's episode. Thank you for hanging around. If you did, we appreciate you. Smash that subscribe button because we are taking this thing to Jupiter. Thank you. Arrivederci.